What up, though, y'all? Let's get into this Clipse album, man. No Malice, Pusha T, produced by Pharrell. Let God sort him out. Honestly, I'm a Pharrell stan, boy. I love Pharrell. He's my favorite producer. He makes the most different sounding beats. No one is making a beat like Pharrell. You can say that someone produces like Timbo. You can say that someone produces like Kanye West. But nobody makes beats like Pharrell, and that's why I like Pharrell. You know, honestly, Pharrell carries this album for me. Absolutely 100,000% carries this album for me. But let's get into it, man.
Get your hand up out of my pocket. You're in the show for the work, then stop it. Trying to put a hurting on the profit. I get when they wanna hate, that's fuel for the rocket. Came from the gravel and now I rock it. Took my heart up out of the locked it. Trim the last track like a pizza topping. Yeah, I'm gonna spit it like a loogie hockey. Playing too many games in your own thin nights, and it's kinda just like you're playing hockey. The pain no gain, every training is like it's a montage and I'm Rocky. And
Honestly, the first song, 10 out of 10. Fire, love it. They're bringing something new to the table. This is what I wanted from Clipse, Pusha T, Malice. This is what I wanted from them. I wanted something different. Talk about your life, something personal about your life. All the drug talk just doesn't do it for me. This was what I wanted from them, and I want more of this, actually, because, I used to be a big Clipse fan, in the locker room, do. If you don't know what that is, don't even talk to me, get out of here. But honestly, man, that song, talking about the death of their parents and finding them and what they went through on that, it hits me here, honestly, and I love it. Really, I wanted more of this on the album, but I didn't really get it. I got just cars, clothes, drugs, girls. Drugs. Oh, did I mention selling drugs? By the way, they sell drugs. I don't know if you knew, but yeah. So that's what you get the rest of the album in terms of subject matter. That's all you get the whole time. And this first song is the only thing that's different. And then the rest of them are like that. And even when you get these fire choruses, like with Pharrell on So Far Ahead and the last song on the album, where you get these amazing choruses by Pharrell and he sets it up with the volley, and I just feel like they don't spike it, because they're just talking about the same thing as they did on the last track, which is selling drugs. And they have a nice car, got nice clothes. It's like it's the same thing. And just if you really listen to lyrics, I know not everybody does. If you really listen to lyrics, you'll get tired of this album, okay? Because they're talking about the same thing. My snow globe, 6 million in the wall, bird talk, we parrots. I actually kind of laughed at that one. Thought that was clever and funny. When that's the thing, is that out of all the people that talk about these things, they do it the best. Malice does it the best. Malice 100% washes Pusha T on this album. There is no song, and at any point does Malice actually beat Pusha T when you compare verse to verse, because Malice has such a different way of approaching it. Pusha T already had a different way of approaching, talking about the same generic stuff that everyone talks about. But Malice does it in a way that's even more clever, I feel. So I have to give him his props there, honestly. But just looking at it that way, I'm tired of the kind of subject matter that's brought forth on the album. I wanted to hear them talk about their life, not what their life was when they were teenagers. They are now 50 years old. They haven't sold drugs in 30 something years, and this is what they're talking about, and it's kind of ridiculous when you really think about it. Like the reason why Andre 3000 doesn't make music anymore, because he feels like he doesn't have anything to talk about. You know why? Because he lives his raps. He talks about his raps. He talks about his life and what he's going through at that time. He doesn't, and if he does talk about something, he doesn't pretend like he's still doing it. Like these guys pretend that they're still kingpins selling drugs and all that, which, they're not. Real kingpins don't talk about them selling drugs. Real drug dealers don't brag about them selling drugs because that would be stupid. Am I crazy? I'm not crazy. So, when I'm just looking at it this way, man, I'm just tired of all that talk. And but when you listen to the album and you don't pay attention to the lyrics, it's like it's amazing, because the sounds of the Clipse voices, they blend into another, but they have a little bit different. I love the sound of their voice. The beats are all crazy fire. The choruses are all fire. So Far Ahead, for example, that chorus just goes crazy. And then the features on this album, Kendrick Lamar, Tyler the Creator, Nas. The Nas feature is a little forced, but I still love it. I'm a monster Nas fan because what he's done for hip hop and what he's done for the subject matter of hip hop. As someone who's talked about similar things that what Clipse is talking about, but he also has songs talking about everything else aspect of his life. So when I'm looking at these feature lists, it's crazy. I love those 3 features specifically, and I feel they all completely wash Clipse on their own track. Hands down, Tyler the Creator, there's no denying that he absolutely slays them. And Tyler's a monster Clipse fan. He's so happy to be on this album for sure. It's one of his dreams, I think he said. He's never been hiding the fact that he's a Clipse stan. So, and he loves Hell Hath No Fury just like I do. That's like one of his favorite albums of all time. And I love that album too. It's up there for me as well. So, honestly, but I'm just being honest. I think that Kendrick Lamar washed him and Nas washed him. And Nas definitely washed them on their track. There's no question. But he's doing it to a different beat, to have a beat switch, and then they bring on the Nas verse. So it's almost kind of unfair because they almost have like a Nas-esque verse at the end of a Clipse track. Comparing them is almost unfair because they're so different. But if we're going to compare them, yeah, Nas slays them 100%. The wordplay, the rhyme scheme, the subject matter, absolutely slays them. So Kendrick Lamar, same thing. It's more closer on this one. There's not like as apparent that Kendrick Lamar kind of beats Clipse when you compare the two. But when you compare subject matter, you factor that into the picture. And you're not just listening to things sonically, but you're actually listening to what they're talking about. Kendrick Lamar's not just talking about nice clothes, cars, getting girls, shooting people, selling drugs. No, he's talking about hip-hop has died again. I might give half of my profits to Rakim. If you don't know who Rakim is, get out of here. You're not a hip-hop fan, okay? So that's once again, man, I gotta say that the reason why this album is good for me is sonically it's good if I'm ignoring subject matter, but the features are good. The beats are good. The choruses are good. But when I factor in subject matter, this goes from a 10 for me to down to like a 7. So I give the album a 7 out of 10 for that reason. Another thing I want to talk about is this is culturally inappropriate line that the soundbite is pretty cool on its own. You hear it and you're like, it's pretty catchy. I like it. And it's repeated throughout the album, which is a great idea, because when you're making the beats and you're coming up with an album theme, this is a great album theme, and it sounds cool. But when you really think about it, really think about that line and what it means. This is culturally inappropriate. What does that mean? That means that we're bringing something different that people aren't going to like what we're talking about. We're bringing something that's unorthodox. We're bringing something that's is not going to be considered out of the norm, And everything they bring is the norm, is pretty culturally appropriate, Rap has been talking about the same generic subjects since the late 90s, you know? So let's be honest here. This isn't culturally inappropriate. It's culturally appropriate. And it's a cool soundbite. I'm with you on that. But once again, we are really listening to what they're talking about. And this is why I have a problem with the album. This is why it's not a 10 out of 10 for me, you know? It's because of that reason alone. Because I like the sound of all the tracks, you know? None of the tracks are like, hey, this sounds bad, you know? It's just, I'm someone, as a rapper, you know, I pride myself on lyrics, on wordplay, on metaphors, similes, rhyme scheme, and also subject matter, you know? And really talking about your life in your raps and not just going toward joining the bandwagon, so to speak, you know? I mean, Clipse, I get it. A lot of earlier part of their life was what they're rapping about now, but they are now 50 years old. 50. And they're still talking about it. You're going to talk about it when you're 70? You're going to talk about it then? Same thing? I mean, is nothing ever going to change with what you're rapping about? And does no one else see a problem with this? I understand that this album has high acclaim and everyone is loving it. And some people are going to tear me apart in the comments saying you're not a hip hop fan because you don't like an album. like, since when are we not offering our opinions here? Why are you even watching this video? You know, what are we doing here? So let me know what y'all think, man. Let me know. I'm letting you know. I'm giving you permission to tear me apart if you want to, but just realize that, you know, this is a big problem for me is subject matter. What you're talking about matters. And it doesn't necessarily matter to the young crowd, but you know, I'm in my 30s and I kind of care about what I'm listening to when people are rapping now. So in my 20s, I really didn't care, but now I do. So that's pretty much what's changed is I've matured and it seems like Clipse have not.